Hey, I'm Matt, 731 Volts. Thank you for coming back. This is Shop Talk. I want to talk to you about my Ridgid Cordless Power Tools. It's not a review, but I want to talk to you about what I like, what I don't like, and would I buy them again, coming up. If you're interested in these, you can drop a comment below. Try to answer any questions you have. So I guess the biggest question, or the first question you'll have to ask yourself is, what tool company am I going to go with when I go cordless? Because once you buy into them, then you're not obligated to them, but you have more investment in them because you have the batteries. And the batteries aren't going to interchange with DeWalt or Milwaukee or any of the other tool brands. I like this brand. This is 5th generation. It's an impact and a driver. I bought this set together with 3 batteries. I bought this router separately. And then on this Brad nailer, I'll tell you how I got that in just a minute. These are the 4 that I have so far. How do I like them? Overall, I think they're pretty good. I use them pretty consistently every week, maybe sometimes several hours a day, off and on obviously, but the batteries last a long time. They've got a little charge indicator on the front, tells you where your batteries are at. This particular kit, I bought these 2 drills, or impact and a drill, and I got 3 4.0 amp hour batteries and a charger for $250, give or take, from Home Depot. Thought that was a really good deal. I've got them all registered. My main reason I went with Ridgid to begin with was that lifetime warranty. That sold me on it. If you like that, I've heard that it can be difficult to get your stuff replaced, but I'll tell you about some dealings I've had with them, and this is how I got this Ridgid 18 gauge Brad nailer. So let's get into it. I want to bring you closer and let you see the tools, and I'll talk to you a little bit as I go on why I went with them, how I like them, pros and cons, that sort of thing. As you can probably see, the Ridgid shop vac in the background, 14-gallon shop vac. I bought that right after I got these drills, or this drill and impact. So like I said before, as you can see here, we've got the charge indicators on the batteries. They're fairly good size at a 14 amp hour. They're 18 volts. They slide in and off, on and off really easily. There is a place that you can put a pocket hook, but I don't have that on there. This has the light on the bottom. The impact has the light around this. This is much better than this. This light is I don't like where it's at. I think the newer versions have them up here, but this version is down here, and I don't like that. It doesn't provide much light. It's shining up at an angle, and it just creates a shadow. I don't really care for that. Another thing I don't care for, this plastic or rubber housing around the triggers has come off of this one. And of course, I'm a woodworker, so you can see the wood glue. You can see the wood glue, and it sticks to that rubber pretty good. So this has 3 settings: your drill, screw, and then hammer. The chuck works like most any other chuck. You can adjust the power here, right, or the torque, and then it has 2 speed settings, 1 and 2. I'm not gonna go in depth. There's a lot of reviews on these things, but for a 5th gen, I like it a lot. This is the R86116, R86116 drill. We have an impact, and you can see the wood glue is really stuck to this one too. It comes off if you scrape on it. And I don't know, that's not their fault. It's my fault for having glue all over my fingers when I'm putting screws in. But of course, this is reversible, just like the drill. This one has 3 speeds. I really like this speed selector. Slow, medium, high. I really like that. And then you can, I don't know that I can hold it, but it ratchets like that. These are the 5th gen brushless series. So this has a bit holder in the back, and the drill does too, but it sucks. It's not going to hold your bits. They fall out. I don't care for the bit holder. It's not tight enough, so I don't even use that. All in all, I think this is a pretty good impact. It is. You hear the motor. It makes a different sound now than it did when it was new. I don't know if that means anything or if it's just gotten broke in, but I probably use this more than any other tool that I have. That impact, I drive a lot of screws with it. I've got a review up on this Ridgid router, so I won't go into too much detail on that. You can check that out. I like this router. I think that it is underpowered for some of the stuff I'm doing with it. That's probably my fault. I probably need to step up to a bigger router. But for the most part, if you're just doing roundovers, this is just a straight bit, cutting little, straight holes or grooves in your material. This works fine. When I start seeing issues is when I'm trying to take more material off than that wants to do. It just doesn't want to do it. And then the Ridgid Hyperdrive Brushless 18 gauge brad nailer. This is a 5th gen also. The battery on this one goes in backwards from the rest of them to me. It slides in from the back, but that doesn't matter, I don't guess. This thing pops down. You can put your brad nails in. I got some really short ones in there. Then you can adjust the depth or the power right here, how deep you want it to sink those brad nails. This one has a light also. It's where it needs to be. It's right there on top. Gets good illumination when you're putting your brad nails in. It has a safety switch that has to be mashed in before it'll sink a brad nail. This thing's pretty powerful. I'm very happy with this. This is a pretty good tool. I like this a lot. I use it quite a bit. All right, so I'm not brand loyal. I have a Delta table saw. I have a DeWalt dust extractor. I have a DeWalt miter saw. I've got a Hitachi belt sander and a Master Mechanic, whoever makes that, skill saw or circular saw. So, I mean, I have various tools of different brand names. I got this brad nailer when I bought a Ridgid table saw, the R4512, I think that's the name of it, from Home Depot. It's the it's not the contractor saw, it's the one up from there. It's got the cast iron base. So I bought that, I brought it home, got it all set up, and when I moved the fence left and right, it was striking the table. Long story short, the table wound up being warped. The cast iron part was actually warped on top of the table, so it caused the fence to strike it as you move it across. So I contacted Ridgid. They told me I had 3 options. I could take it back to Home Depot and exchange it, which is a 2-hour drive for me. 2 hours one way and then 2 hours back. Or I could take it to a service center, which the nearest one was like 3 or 4 hours away. Or I could just keep it and live with it. Well, I obviously wasn't gonna live with it because I know I wanted it. I'd been so long with a crappy table saw. I wanted a decent table saw that the fence glides smooth on. Anyway, ended up I just took it back and got my money back, and then went straight to Lowe's and bought that Delta. Love that Delta. I'm glad I did that. Anyway, I had been back and forth with Ridgid customer service by email, but also had contacted their social media team on Instagram. They did me right. So what they did was told me to pick any Ridgid cordless tool under $200, and it was mine. So I picked this. It's the 18 gauge brad nailer. I already had these tools, and I needed a brad nailer. I wanted the brad nailer. I told them I wanted this one. They said, send it to me. So they did me right. So I was extremely happy with that. I love this thing. I've used it quite a bit. It works beautifully. So I like it. Now, why did I go with Ridgid originally? It was the lifetime warranty and the price. I got $250. I got the impact, the drill, and 3 of these 4.0 amp hour batteries for about $250 from Home Depot. They was running that special at the time where you could get the 3 batteries. The lifetime warranty was one of the main reasons. Like I said, you can take that for what it's worth. I've heard different things about the lifetime warranty. Some people say they love it. Some people say, well, it's not really worth it because you have to go through such a hassle to get your tool replaced. I don't know. I haven't had to deal with that yet. So far, these tools are working great for me. I think really they were made for more of a DIYer or a weekend warrior, whereas I'm using them more as a full-time job. I have a full-time job, but woodworking in itself here lately has turned into close to a full-time job. Several hours a day in the shop, then I go to work in the evenings in my full-time. So this, like I said a while ago, you can hear this one. Sounds like there's a little bit of a grinding noise maybe, or maybe you can tell me what that is. If you know what that sound is, drop that in the comment. But it's not as smooth sounding as the drill, and the drill at one time sounded almost exactly the same as this. These, I guess it's the gears in here maybe, or the impact. I don't know. Starting to get nervous. It's making me nervous. That's why I'm saying something. I don't want this thing to go out because I use this a lot. So If it goes out, obviously I can get it replaced because I got that free lifetime warranty, but it makes me nervous because I don't want to be without one. So if I had it to do over again, would I buy these Ridgid tools? I don't know. I don't think so. Knowing what I know now, I think I probably would have went with a DeWalt or Milwaukee. Leaning toward the DeWalt. I like DeWalt stuff. That miter saw's been rock solid. I love that dust extractor. And I think DeWalt is known for making contractor grade tools. Milwaukee also. I mean, Milwaukee is making some awesome looking stuff that fuel M12 or M18 stuff. They have M12 stuff too. But just, I mean, I don't know why. I feel like I bought this in May or June, I think, of 2017. This is now February or late January, almost February of 18. So I've had them for about 6 or 7 months, and I'm worried they're not going to last. I've not even got a year in these things, and this thing, it still works perfectly fine. It's just that I can hear you know how you use something all the time, you know how it sounds, and the minute it sounds different, you know it, and I know it. Something's different. It's working fine now, but if something's different, so it makes me nervous. Would a DeWalt or a Milwaukee do the same thing? Maybe. I don't know. I've never had any other cordless tools other than these. My first set, and but if I had it to do over again, I really think I would have went with DeWalt. I'm not persuading you to go anyway. I want to know what you're using, what power tools you're using, cordless. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to know how you like them, what you think about them, pros and cons. And I'd love to know if you have these Ridgids or similar Ridgids. I'd love to know what you think about those. But I mean, I'm happy with these tools so far. I'm worried they're not going to last with me using them the way I use them. I use them a lot, so I'm worried, especially as this is impact. So I don't know. Maybe they will. They may last years and years. Who knows? But we'll see, I guess, or maybe won't. I don't know. So like and subscribe so you hit that little bell so you'll get notified when I post new content. I'm trying to do 2 videos a week and doing some shop talk. Also doing build videos and full build videos of different types of furniture and stuff. Got some really great stuff coming up, and I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're watching. Like I said, thank you, thank you, thank you.